Welcome everyone to episode 5 of Fridays with Farhan, FWF. Yesterday we had an amazing call with Jev, Lala, Manveer, and Sunny, which are the team, which is our interns, our people who work for us, with us, and we are collaborating together. They are located all over the world. Jev is in Germany. Sunny and Manveer are in the UK, Lala is in Atlanta, and I'm here in Toronto. I'm sitting right now outside my apartment and recording this episode. We had a 2.5-hour call yesterday. A lot of insights were gained from that call. I love my team. I just wanted to convey that we're very united at the moment. We are all on the same page. We are all on the same sort of frequency of what we need to provide to you guys to help your life, to help your health, and to help you stay fit and healthy in your mental as well as your physical, spiritual life. So yeah, just wanted to sort of share the love with you as well. And a lot of good content is about to come, especially when it comes to health aspects, because the type of person that will get the most benefit from me and from my knowledge is someone who wants to live a plant-based life and have a plant-based nutrition and make it a whole foods sort of diet. And someone who wants to make it easy for himself or herself to cook these foods and prepare them, because I live a very hectic life, the life of an entrepreneur, the life of a digital nomad, traveling all the time, and I don't really have time to spend hours and hours cooking. So in terms of meal prep, in terms of how to cook something fast using a rice cooker and make it very healthy and taste amazing, because you know me, I've been experimenting with different spices and different sauces and different food combinations for years now, since I learned how to cook. Thank you, Mom. And I still remember 2014 January is 2014 October. It was Halloween when I went to Dallas to start my testosterone journey, and I learned how to cook with my mom. So thank you very much, Mom. Love my parents as well here. So I just wanted to share that with you. Someone, if you're watching this and you're someone who wants to live a very healthy life in terms of nutrition and learn how to actually cook these foods, we're gonna have a lot of cooking videos coming up in the near future, and someone who actually cares about his mental and physical health and wants to make it convenient and easy, how to shop for different foods, what exactly to buy, how to make it cheap and economically economically feasible for you, especially if you're traveling all the time and you don't have like a full kitchen and you don't have hours and hours to leave the food to do something or saute something or I just want to make it very simple for you and very basic for you when it comes to health. So let's get started with Fridays with Farhan, and if you have any questions about where we're headed with the channel, as I mentioned, it's going to be very much focused on health from this point forward. That's why we have our free ebook available to you, the Testosterone Blueprint, the 7 hacks to naturally boost your testosterone today. So click the link in the description to get that ebook for free. It's our brand new book. A lot of insights in there, a lot of brand new information that is not in any other book that I have written in the past. So let's get started with Fridays with Farhan, episode 5. And if you have questions for future episodes, please feel free to post those in the comments below. Zuhir Benzmaya. Hi Farhan, because you're a PhD in neuroscience, I suppose you can give me good advice. So I have a rupture of my plexus brachial since birth and am in a point in life where I need to get in shape. This handicap is hard to live with because it doesn't allow me to attain my full potential physically, mentally, etc. So do you recommend to lift weight even though I can't get the full motion and have muscle compensation? Or should I just forget about lifting weight and just do physiotherapy and try to progress from there? Thanks. Very good question. So my gut instinct is don't go all out with strength training and muscle building without the muscular balances first. So fix up what is happening. Go through the physiotherapy, go to a chiropractor, go to a neurosomatic therapist. You know, they're available all over the world. The Center for Neurosomatic Studies, cns.edu. That's where I did a lot of my neurosomatic therapy. I learned about my leg inequality, got a leg lift, which I've had for 2 years now. I took it off about a month and a half ago and I'm feeling good. Just understand that there are parts of your body that are very important and we don't really realize. So for example, our glutes are very important. When you're sitting, when you are lifting weights, when you are walking around, your gait, just the way you walk, if you're using your glutes, then you will have strength in your posterior chain, right? Posterior chain, that's your hamstrings, your glutes, your calves, you're like your gastrocnemius, your glute max, your glute min, your glute med, parts of your hamstrings, your hip flexors. These are very important parts of your body. And if you have some sort of problems, now I don't know exactly what plexus brachialis rupturing issues are. I'm going to give you very general insights about muscular imbalances, stuff I learned at Strength Camp with Elliot and from Randy Clark at the Pain Management Institute in Clearwater, right? The Saint, what is it called? The St. John Clark Pain Management, Pain Treatment Center. So go check those guys out. I learned a lot from them. What I can tell you personally is using the big toe is very important to trigger the glute activation, right? Because as you're walking and you're stepping on your big toe, that triggers activity in your glutes. And so if let's say for example, your quads are compensating for the rest of your body. I'm being very general here. And you're sitting all day, your hamstrings are tight, your hip flexors are tight, and your quads are very dominant. And if you do squats and you do deadlifts and you do anything, lunges, anything that requires a lot of lower body movement, you will compensate by having your quads take over and become even more dominant, and thus your posterior chain will become even weaker. And you don't want that. So what I would recommend is fix up everything in your body first. Go do physio, go do chiro, do neuromuscular, do neurosomatic, and watch YouTube videos, learn from Elliot, learn from Randy and all those guys, learn from Sir Symmetry. He also knows a shit ton about all this stuff. And if you don't know who these people are, comment below and I'll provide you links. I would say do that first, because from my own experience, I became very anterior chain heavy, very anterior chain dominant, and very weak in my posterior chain. And it's taken me the last year or so to fix that up. So to get my hamstrings super strong and my glutes strong, and I'm dancing a lot nowadays. I'm doing a lot of Pilates work to get my core stronger, and a lot of strength training work with my personal trainer at Equinox to get my lower body posterior chain stuff very strong. So I think muscular balances are underrated, and I need you to fix those first. Next. Adam Luwani, how would one go about increasing testosterone on a vegan diet? Very good. So what we know about boosting testosterone is that it is very much a carb and fat macro based system, right? High protein diets actually lower testosterone. Whenever they look at studies where they look at the ratio of carb to protein or fat to protein, they always find that those diets with a higher carb to protein or a higher fat to protein ratio, those individuals, usually men, have higher testosterone than those who are on a high protein diet. I just made a video about how animal protein could kill you. Make sure, I'll try to link that in the description below. So Manvir, Sunny, Jev, whoever's watching this, or Lala, make sure you put in the description the link for the video that was just posted a couple of days ago about how animal protein could kill you if it's very high. So where do you get the sources? So in terms of carbs, you have brown rice, beans, tempeh, a lot of lentils, quinoa, and obviously you have your green vegetables like kale and broccoli, which also have protein in them, and so don't forget. In terms of fats, you get all your omega-3s necessary for the day from 1 tablespoon of chia seeds and 1 tablespoon of flax seeds. So it's simple as that. And in terms of protein, I'm going to get more than enough from beans, lentils, kale, quinoa, brown rice, more than enough, not to worry. Even if you're like a heavy-duty athlete, heavy-duty bodybuilder, strength trainer, you're going to get more than enough protein. What you need for testosterone is a lot of carbs and a lot of fats, not necessarily a lot of protein. It's very easy to get that on a vegan diet. Now, if you want more information, go get the free ebook, the Testosterone Blueprint, How to Boost Testosterone. There's 7 hacks in there, very specific physical actions you can take, practical actions you can take, and the symptoms of low testosterone are in there as well. And I recently, yesterday, follow me on Instagram stories at Doc Testosterone. I am posting everything that I'm doing during the day, so you can see, in terms of the coffee I drink, also the foods I eat, where I'm going, what I'm up to, how I'm feeling, how I'm thinking, where I'm traveling next. A lot of exclusive insights on my Instagram stories and Snapchat stories. So follow me on Instagram and Snapchat and watch those stories at Doc Testosterone. Now, I just finished a plant-based nutrition quick startup guide, which is part of the product that we have out. So when you get the free ebook, you're going to get emails in the future on how to access that product, so you can get a plant-based nutrition meal plan, step by step, what exactly to eat every day, what exactly to shop at the grocery store, what nuts to eat, Brazil nuts, cashews, almonds, pecans, pistachios, when to eat what, how to do intermittent fasting, how to work out. All of that is in that plant-based nutrition meal plan. So make sure you get the ebook for free, and then you're going to get an email in the future to how to get that product so you can get that meal plan. Cortez Lisa, what is the most interesting thing about the brain? Consciousness, for sure, by far. One thing we don't realize with artificial intelligence and machine learning is that all these robots are becoming very intelligent, right? They have very high intelligence. What they're missing is consciousness. The fact that we know that we have a brain, the fact that you know that you are conscious, you know that you are aware of your body consciousness, of your mind consciousness, of your spiritual consciousness, the fact that you know you're alive, the fact that you know that you have, theory of mind, the fact that you have a mind, that is fucking crazy. And the fact that the brain is able to have consciousness to this level that is not seen in any animal that we know, that is the most profound thing about the brain, which robots aren't even close to having. They're zero. David Charles, could you discuss the relationship between orgasm, dopamine, testosterone, and how long these hormones need to get back to balance after sex? I realize it's a complex question, but you can handle it. I can handle anything. So one thing to realize is that sex erections are due to dopamine, predominantly. Nighttime erections, right? So nocturnal penile tumescence, it's known in our academic community, is due to testosterone predominantly. When you have an orgasm, you will lose a bit of testosterone, for sure. Now, if you're addicted to porn, I know you're not, and I know it took you a long time to get rid of that. That's amazing. I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of all of these guys that got rid of it. If you're watching a lot of porn, then you will get a decrease in dopamine receptors. So what are those? So there's different types of receptors. There's so there are androgenic receptors, right? So that's what testosterone. I was trying to figure out how to put this in a simple way because I'm getting feedback that there's a lot of science jargon that people may not understand or get phased out with. So if you feel that I'm getting too sciencey, let me know in the comments below and I'll tone it down. If you think you want more science, comment below and I'll add fucking more science. I know a lot of this shit. Androgenic receptors are what testosterone binds to when it's released from the presynaptic terminal. So this is like, what is a synapse? A synapse is a connection between two cells. So the presynaptic terminal is the cell that is releasing the neurotransmitter. So when testosterone is released, it is not a neurotransmitter, it's a hormone, but it can still be, it's still not released by a presynaptic terminal, right? That is what happens for things like dopamine, adrenaline, serotonin. These are actually released by the presynaptic terminal. Testosterone isn't. Testosterone is just floating around, and it binds to a receptor outside, which is the postsynaptic terminal, and it is taken inside to the nucleus, and that is how there's gene expression and so on. But what you need to understand is that for sex erections, dopamine triggers oxytocin release, and then there's other factors which end up having nitric oxide release and dilation of your blood vessels in the penis, and that is how you get an erection. If you keep having orgasms over and over, like someone who's a porn addict and watching orgasming 10 times a day, you're gonna get a depletion of dopamine receptors, and it's gonna take like 2 years sometimes to get those to normal resting levels, right? So people who are addicted to porn, a guy like me, it took me years to get my dopamine receptors back on track. So make sure that happens. Now, one thing I will say about you, David, or anyone who is one of our top guys, I would listen to your body. Listen to what your body's telling you. Do you feel that your refractory period is too long after sex? If so, let's fix that. If that's the case, comment below, and I'll do an entire answer on refractory periods and what to do when you want to start having sex right away. Some people don't, right? Like if you listen to Osho, there's something known as not just a peak orgasm, which is what you're talking about. There's something known as a valley orgasm. That is after you ejaculate and you're with your girl and you're hugging her, you're caressing her, you're loving her, and that is like very beautiful, because that is when the girl realizes that you don't just want her for sex, you want her for her. So that caressing, that lovey-dovey stuff is known as a valley orgasm, and it is as important, if not more important, than the peak orgasm where you just and you're done. If you want more, comment below and I'll even talk more about this topic. Julian, what up, Julian? Sherlock Holmes says everybody is like a moon. We all have a dark side. Do you agree? Yes, absolutely. In the book Relentless, our boy, who wrote that? Who wrote Relentless? Oh my God. The guy who trained Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and all those guys. What a great, he's a fucking Indian guy. Anyway, I'm not like recalling his name, but in Relentless, he talks about that Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, all these guys had a dark side. And the dark side is used at those times when you need to have a killer instinct and fucking kill it in the game and have the biggest balls in the game. By the way, if you haven't joined our Facebook group, go join it. Biggest balls in the game, balls with a Z. Exclusive content not available anywhere on YouTube or anywhere on the internet. So I would recommend you try to go inside to your dark side and really use it at times when it's needed. When you're in fear, when you're afraid to do something, use the dark side and have fucking fun with it. Tomas Boncompte. Out of the last 10 years, I've only worked out consistently for about half. It generally goes 1 year, I get motivated, go to the gym, lift some iron, etc. And then the next one, I'll just take it easy. Here's why. I noticed that about a year of working out, I get restless. I start sleeping poorly, my relationships start suffering because I'm angry and snappy at them. I have a lot less patience at work, and since I'm sleeping like shit, my performance in the gym gets worse and worse. I have no idea what this phenomenon is, but it makes it hard to be consistent in the gym, in diets and weight loss, etc. Sleep is so much important for well-being. I'll choose sleep over weight loss any day. Maybe you have some useful insights. Yes, I do. But before I get that, I just remembered I forgot to say something about the presynaptic stuff. So when dopamine is released from the presynaptic terminal, it will travel to the postsynaptic terminal and bind to dopamine receptors, right? There's D1, D2, all these receptors. Now, the way it works is the receptors will get depleted, so you won't have as many receptors if you watch a lot of porn. That's been shown. You can go to yourbrainonporn.com. There's TED Talks, there's tons of papers, fMRI studies, tons of stuff about this stuff. Now, if you have a depletion of dopamine receptors, you're still releasing dopamine, right? So there's all this dopamine in the fucking synaptic cleft, as it's called, but there's no receptors to bind to it, so there's no point in you, and that's going to fuck up your hormonal system. So just keep that in mind as well. Not David, you don't have to worry about that, but I'm talking about for the rest of the guys. Now back to our boy Tomas. So first and foremost, are you taking enough rest? If you are doing recovery, then you will have your cortisol in check. What I reckon and I hypothesize is that your cortisol is way high during your workout year, or your workout months, or your workout weeks. If your testosterone is high and your cortisol is high, you're going to get into fights and you're going to be very hyper aggressive, and we don't want that. We want cortisol to be low. So what I recommend is you do enough recovery. Work out only 3 times a week. So if you go to the product that I have, if you look at, first of all, get the free ebook, okay? Look at those hacks. And if you like what I'm writing, if you like the value I'm providing, then in the emails, you're going to get access to the exact workout plan, how to do recovery, how to do rest, and exactly what to do in terms of the exercise routine, functional movement, full body movement. You're going to get that. I think that is what's happening to you. You have too high cortisol. So how are you resting? How much are you resting? Are you actually getting enough carbs in your system? A lot of people who don't have enough carbs get antsy and get pissed off, like the paleo guys who don't really know how to do the right type of paleo. Abi Malik, how to become a nerd like you and get fucking A pluses in each and every course? Is there a correlation between IQ and testosterone? You have to be all in. You have to love what you do. When I did computer science, when I did neuroscience, I fucking loved it. That's why I killed it. That's why I got straight A pluses and was top of my class, so on and so forth. 4.0. In high school, I had even above a 4.0. I had like a 4.4 or something. Don't ask me why. But the point is, you need to really love the subject and be all in and do nothing else. I don't recommend it, but that's how you get A pluses. Correlation between IQ and testosterone, I don't know. I haven't really read those studies. I'm just going to be frank and authentic here. I have no idea. But fuck IQ, you should care about EQ. EQ is the thing that dominates the world today, not IQ. Look it up. Sam Harris has a lot of good stuff about this stuff, and so does Peter Thiel. Look up Peter Thiel, he's gangster. Madhya Satya, I've been experiencing a disturbance in my sleep cycle by the way, sleeping, Tomas, sleeping is way more important than diet, believe it or not. I'm assuming you guys are sleeping 8 hours, and then now you worry about the diet and improve, boost your testosterone using a vegan diet, plant-based diet. But if you don't sleep enough, you will become obese. Tons of studies for this. You need to sleep enough, you need to sleep enough. People who are sleeping only 5 hours a night, way lower testosterone than those who are sleeping 8 hours. I've been experiencing a disturbance in my sleep cycle for around 3 months or so. I usually go to bed at around 4 a.m. and wake up at 12:30 p.m. Is there a way out, because going to bed early doesn't seem to be helping me? Don't worry about it. Sleep at 4:30 and wake up at 12:30. Who cares? The testosterone studies show that as long as you get 8 hours of sleep continuous, it doesn't matter if you're sleeping at night or not. Now, you might be an outlier. I'm an outlier. I need to sleep at night 11 a.m. or 10 a.m. at 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. and wake up at 4 as I do, or 5 a.m. That's good for me. Or even 6 a.m. is good if you do like 10 to 6. If you're doing 4:30 to 12:30 and you're good, you're staying healthy, you have, your testosterone's high, your sex drive is high, you are, your energy levels, your fitness, you're like fucking killing it in life, then who cares? And before I do a pitch about the free book, let me just check my email. Someone emailed me very recently. It is, it's our boy Junaid. Okay, this is a guy, he said a bunch of stuff. He also sent me a photo. I'm not going to post a photo, obviously, but basically it's a guy. He has a really good head of hair, just a mustache over here, and just a bit of hair, and he's very afraid that he looks like a 16-year-old even though he's 26, so he's not getting the leadership jobs that he wants. So listen to me, Junaid, this is what you need to do. I just looked at your photo. You need to first and foremost get rid of this nasty ass hair that's growing. It looks very pubic. Get rid of it. It doesn't look attractive. Get rid of your mustache. It looks pedophilia type. Get rid of it. You need to become bald. Shave off your hair. When you shave off your hair, automatically you're going to add like 5-6 years to your life just from your look. That's what you need to do. Experiment with it. I know, dude, you're gonna grow, you probably grow your hair fucking fast. You're gonna grow it in a month, right? When I shaved off my hair, it took me like 3 months to grow it back. You're gonna grow it back in a month. That's what I would recommend. I don't see anything else. Start lifting, dude. If you have low testosterone, if you have low sex drive, get your testosterone levels checked. If it's like around 300, 400, you need to boost that up to 600, 700. Get the 7 Hacks book. It's free. Link in the description below. Follow it. I think I've done enough pitching. I'm not going to go through it again. But go get that free ebook ASAP. That's what I would recommend. Yeah, you have a baby face, bro. You need to like get the fucking jawline. You know, get this fucking like this V thing. You know, as I work out, I become skinnier and skinnier. You know, get this, the 6-pack shows better and better. The 8-pack. I'm going to get this jawline. This thing, you know, become model-esque. So that's what I would recommend for you, bro. Good luck, work out hard, boost your testosterone, and become bald. Shave it off. All right, that's episode 5. See you guys later. Take it easy. Bye. Hey, what's up? I'm back. I forgot to answer one question. It's by Charles. So I'm going to answer it right now, and then we'll be done with episode 5. So Charles asks, how do I get my vitamin B12, vitamin D, omega-3s, and iron? So let's go one by one. Vitamin D. So why did he ask me that? So as you know, I'm on a vegan diet, plant-based nutrition, whole foods based. So vitamin D, you can't even get from a meat, dairy, and eggs based diet. Now there's some vitamin D in like salmon and a little bit like if you do like cod liver oil, that type of stuff. But you need to get vitamin D from the sun, right? So vitamin D is actually produced in the body through sunlight exposure. And you also need calcium to actually produce vitamin D. So that is how you need to produce vitamin D. The way I produce vitamin D, well, first and foremost, my vitamin D levels are super high. So I was on a supplement for about a year. My vitamin D levels were super, super low, like death low. And then I went on, I used Athletic Greens for vitamin D, and then I used another one. This is all explained in the ebook, by the way. So get that ebook. All the pictures are there in the exact vitamin D droplet I used. Always use liquid. So that is what I would recommend. For me personally, I don't use vitamin D because mine are very high. But what I would recommend is either go expose yourself to sunlight. So, you know, get like 20 minutes of sunlight exposure a day. Just go tan. If you are brown or you know, darker complexion, then you don't really need sunscreen. And even if you're white, I don't really believe in sunscreen. I've never put it on. So I used to put it on when I was a kid, but I don't put it on, you know, recently. So, you know, that's your call. If you believe in sunscreen or not, you don't want to get sunburned. You don't want to get like leukemia and stuff like that. So stay away from, you know, those harmful effects of the sun. But I think, you know, 10 to 15 minutes, you know, on each side of the body, I don't think that's going to do you any harm. A few times a week, that's how you're going to get your vitamin D. Or you can do it through supplements. Okay, now let's move on to omega-3s. I get all my omega-3s, more than enough omega-3s, from 1 tablespoon of flaxseed and 1 tablespoon of flax seeds and 1 tablespoon of chia seeds every day in my smoothie. I just made a smoothie right now. Follow me on Instagram stories if you want to get all the information on how to make all that stuff. So that's how I get my omega-3s. I don't take fish oil. I don't take any of that omega-3 supplementation, none of that stuff. Now, there is a theory that for DHA, it might be beneficial in the long term, like 30, 40 years, 50 years down the road, to take algae oil, right? So obviously on a vegan diet, I'm not taking any fish oil, any animal-based stuff, but there's something known as algae oil, which has DHA in it, and you can take that every day. But the algae oil I find here at the health food store has some, like, it's like some solvents that might not be beneficial, so I'm not taking that either. I'm getting all my omega-3s from chia seeds and flax seeds. Next, vitamin B12. So there's two types, cyanocobalamin and methylcobalamin. I have been taking methylcobalamin, 1 milliliter per day supplement. Now I'm going to switch to cyanocobalamin, 2,500 micrograms per week, once a week. And I got all this information from Michael Greger, who is the one guy I fucking recommend you follow. There are other doctors as well, but this is the one guy who's my mentor, Dr. Michael Greger. He wrote the book How Not to Die. Very, very good book. Read it. It's long as fuck, but read it. So that's vitamin B12. I also get my vitamin B12 from nutritional yeast. I eat that every day. I just sprinkle it all over my food. I get the seasoning made by Bragg, B-R-A-G-G. These are the same guys who make the organic apple cider vinegar. So get your nutritional yeast stuff from them. It's a seasoning. It tastes good. Because nutritional yeast on its own tastes horrible. I don't like it. So I have to get the seasoning. And the last one was iron. Beans, lentils have tons of iron. Green leafy vegetables have tons of iron, especially the ones that I recommend. If you go to the ebook, you're going to see all that. So that is how I get my iron, and I get more than enough because my iron levels are quite good. And I'm going to get a complete blood test in like very soon, like in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to keep you posted on all my levels, so you get to understand how the plant-based nutrition, whole foods based, over the last 4.5, 5 months has changed my life. All right, see you next time, bruh.